All right, guys, we are back with some more Monster Energy Supercross 25. It has been a minute, but we are back, and we have a brand new DLC here. We have the second two-stroke bike pack DLC. Now, I wanted to show you a quick overview of what bikes you get, and I wanted to talk about them a little bit. Now, at the very end of the video, there will be some gameplay without me talking, so if you just want to hear the bikes and see some gameplay, skip to a little over halfway, and you can have that. But I wanted to talk about it because I was a little bit surprised with what bikes we got. You know, for example, we got the YZ125, the KTM 250. I really thought we were just going to get, you know, the YZ250 and the KTM 125. I thought they were just going to give us the different CC bike, basically. It just kind of felt like that's what they were going to do, but they didn't. Milestone decided to give us different bikes. We get the two Huskies, the TC 125 250, we get the Gas 250, and the RM 125 250. So it's really cool. This was the second thing I thought they might do for us, but it wasn't the first one. So I am a little bit surprised, and I do feel like this was probably a better way to go, because this DLC, if you don't know, is $5. So $5 for this one, $5 for the first one. It would run you $10 if you wanted to buy both of them. So basically you can think of it as $1 per bike, right? $1 per bike. And while it's not bad, do I think you should buy it? I mean, it seems pretty obvious. If you really enjoy the game and played a bunch still, probably. If you like two-stroke bikes, probably. If you don't play the game too much, or you've kind of moved on or whatever, no, for sure. I don't believe that this DLC will... I mean, it might be fun for you for a little bit if you kind of enjoyed the game before, but I don't believe it's gonna add a bunch of extra gameplay for you. While the bikes do feel a little bit different, in my opinion, because just like MX vs ATV Legends, maybe the bikes, you know, power-wise are all the same, but since the bike models are individually different, they can feel different in the game. And these bikes are the same way. Similar to the first set, they were fun. I thought they were fun. They sounded decent. I mean, some bikes sounded better than others, but overall it was okay. Yes, I've heard way better two-stroke bike sounds. MX Bikes has some really insane sound mods that are very, 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 very good, but they're okay. You know, they're okay. I've definitely heard worse, but overall I thought that Milestone did a pretty good job. It would be cheaper if you did, I'm kind of all over the place, but it would be cheaper if you did have the season pass. Then you just have, you know, these bikes to look forward to, and it'll be a little bit cheaper overall. But yeah, I don't know. I was surprised that Milestone went this route and gave us more variety to have in the game. So, you know, if you really enjoy KTM, you really only get the 250. You don't get the 125. So I prefer it this way. I'm not that picky. I don't feel like we have to have a KTM 125 or a YZ 250 in the game. I prefer to have more manufacturers than the same one twice. So overall, it's okay. I do enjoy it, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend it unless you really, really have been playing the game a bunch. Now, the one thing that I do want to mention that does kind of suck, I don't know if I have before, but the two-stroke bikes have limited customization. You can, you know, get community customization, you know, customizable graphics kits if anybody makes them. There were some for the first two-stroke bike pack DLC because the bikes have been out, you know, for a while by the time I got to it. With this bike pack, there were none because it just came out. It literally just came out today. But the bike customization for graphics kits and whatnot is usually good. But components, you know, aftermarket parts and upgrades, you know, pipe and silencer, you can't do it. And I don't believe it's ever really been that way. I don't know why Milestone chooses to go that route. It kind of sucks, but in my opinion, that's probably the worst thing about them. Now, I do realize that these bikes at one time were paid for in some Supercross games, and then they were just free in the base game for some Supercross games, and now Milestone went back, to pulling them and making you pay for them. And I get that sucks. I do agree with you. I wish they, if they had always been paid for, I could see it, but since they were free at one point, it sucks, but it is the way it is. So if you feel that way, I agree with you 100%. So next DLC should be in July sometime. I'm not sure when, but it should be the first Super Motocross playoff track. And those 3 tracks, those 3 DLCs would be the ones that I'm most looking forward to. I feel like probably people that are still playing the game feel the same way. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, if you are going to pick up this DLC or not. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing. Thanks so much for the support on the channel lately. It really does mean a lot. And until the next video, take it easy.